Hey everybody, welcome back to the Badgerland Birding Podcast, bringing you birding news and stories from the Badger State and beyond. Today we're with our friend Aiden, who's a 15-year-old birder who we actually met at the biggest week last year. He was looking for some warblers. I think the day that we met you was really good on the boardwalk because I remember we were all like freaking out about how many cool things we saw. So how's it going, Aiden?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Wish the weather was a little nicer here. It's been kind of gloomy, but saw a hermit thrush today, so that was cool.
That's
You
sweet.
saw
Yeah.
hermit thrush today?
I did without you.
We saw hermit thrush yesterday
We did.
together.
That's true. Couple fox sparrows today too.
Oh, where'd you do that?
Just walking around a local bike trail, so
Okay. All right.
stuff's moving. You kind of forget the waves in migration sometimes. And you're like, oh, those are back. Like I forgot that we were gonna get these first before like this other thing came through.
I always remember the hermit thrushes from around Easter time up here. It's like hermit thrushes, the yellow-bellied sapsuckers, brown creepers all come through around the same time.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of creepers. What are
So many
you?
creepers.
What have you been seeing out by you, Aiden?
Not much actually. Just like dark-eyed juncos are finally moving out. It's lots of sparrows still, just like yeah, not much really.
You seem kind of
Surprising.
relieved the Juncos are leaving. Do you feel like they overstayed their welcome?
Yeah, a little bit.
They stay pretty long and they get pretty far south too. I remember one time it was like March and I was in South Carolina and there was a dark-eyed junco that was in the Pine Barrens down there when I was looking for a red-cockaded woodpecker. So they get down there
Nice.
pretty far. They have a
Yeah,
long ways to go.
the thing that messes me up is they start singing. So they have that like fluttery kind of call. And I'm always like, oh, what is that? I'm like, oh, yeah, the Juncos are singing. Same thing with the tree sparrows because they haven't been all winter and then they kind of start. It's like, oh, you got to refresh yourself.
Yeah, you get that and then the combination of new stuff coming through. We also have brown-headed cowbirds up here now, which is unfortunate.
Depends who you are.
It's fortunate for that tick on your list for the year. You're like, brown-headed cowbird, count it, and then you see them
And
in
the
your bird feeder
cowbirds,
the
they got
rest
to
of the year.
survive, you know?
I'm a fan of cowbirds when they're actually following herds of large animals across the plains. Like I got to see them do that in Yellowstone. They were following around the bison, which was actually cool because I was like, "You're doing what you're supposed to do. Good job. You're not just chilling at my house."
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was honestly. Aiden, how have you felt about the Warbler tournament so far?
Yeah, well, let's give a little background. If people aren't familiar, we did an America's Favorite Warbler bracket. So we split it up into an East and West. We did random draw. We had people vote. We're now on to the Sweet 16. And so we were trying to figure out voting's open. If you want to go to our Badgerland Birding Extras or Badgerland Birding Shorts channel, you can go in and vote on your favorite warbler. But we're down to 16 left. So the matchups are getting really tight.
From 54 to 16.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm just
Some
really
good
sad that
ones getting
my
kicked off.
I'm sad that my hooded warbler got knocked out already.
By
It was
one vote.
close. Did
It
you
Yeah.
was
watch the
close. One
video?
vote. Yep.
Yeah, it was literally a buzzer beater win for the Cape May. Hooded
Yeah.
Warbler at first was winning, and I was like, cool, people like the Hooded Warbler. They appreciate it. And then got overtaken.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were surprised at some of the ones that people really like Wilson's has gone pretty far. Didn't
Yeah,
realize
I may
people
have not
appreciated
chosen
Wilson's.
Wilson's.
He's like the people, but not me.
It is
So
kind of goofy because early on in the voting, it'll be different. So we'll like check it usually, and some Warbler will be winning, and then when the rest of the votes come in, boom, it loses. So it's like the more common Warblers seem to get the push the more that the time goes on in the voting. Which one's
I'm
your favorite to win, Aiden?
Um, Probably Blackburnian. That's my favorite. Just like I've had such good memories with it, and I'm sure it probably has a really good chance just because a lot of people like it. But
I
yeah,
saw someone today in one of the comments say that Canada's going to make it all the way to the final and win. They were just like, it's the
really.
quintessential Warbler.
People have some interesting opinions about warblers that I didn't expect. So it's been
It is
interesting
funny
to
to see
see.
people in the comments just obsessed with one Warbler. Aiden always just comments like justice for whichever one got knocked out that he didn't want to get knocked out. But there's somebody that's like obsessed with the Cape May Warbler. And then I've seen a few other ones that people are like, that's my guy. The black-throated blue. That's my guy.
Yeah, it's been fun to see what people think and we haven't done a bracket. We did America's favorite duck, and we had the same thing with in this one. Yellow rumped warbler's gone pretty far. I thought mallard was going to do really well in the favorite duck bracket. It ended up not going as far as I thought it could, just because it was so common. But it's kind of those, do you vote for the rare one or do you vote for the common one that you know? It's always kind of a toss up. But let's talk a little bit about the biggest week in American birding that takes place in Ohio. I know you're a big fan, Aiden. What's some of your favorite things about going to the biggest week? How long have you been going there for?
I've been going for as long as I can remember. Like ever since I was really young. Like just all the birds that are just everywhere and like all the trees and stuff. Like I just love going out after school and stuff. Just like finding anything really. Like I live in a golf course and like I just go out on the golf course. Yeah, just walking the trails on the golf course and I'll just find warblers and all that kind of stuff everywhere. Yeah, it's
Golf
very cool.
courses are surprisingly good places to go birding
Yeah,
because I
they
feel like
are.
they normally have a lot of nice trees, and that thin cut grass is really good edge habitat then where they can come out and forage and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember going way back in the woods. Like it was like the beginning of May. And I remember going way back out in the woods because I very distinctly heard a northern parula, and I wanted to get my first warbler of the year. So I just went like way back in the woods. I got prickles all over my pants and shoes. Yeah, that was a mess, but got that northern parula.
Nice. How has the
You're just
biggest
like
week
worth it.
How has the biggest week changed from when you were going as a kid? Because I know, what was it? They push it back like a week or something this year? How has it kind of changed from when you first started going? Or is it kind of the same?
It's usually the same, but like it really just depends on when they do it. Like it doesn't really have any specific week it has. It's just always sometime in May. Usually it's earlier. Like last year was May 3rd to the 12th, so like that was pretty early, but this year's May 9th to the 18th. So it's a lot later. We'll probably get a different variety of warblers.
Yeah, you might see some of those later arriving species that we were there for like the first half, and I think we missed some of those more later arriving birds, and then there wasn't a Kirtland's at
Yeah,
all,
no.
which was weird.
Still haven't gotten that one.
You know what the rarest warbler probably was?
What is
The
that?
prairie warbler. The prairie
Ah,
warbler that we found, I think. I think so, at least. I didn't see it. Maybe somebody out of Connecticut.
I think there was a Connecticut, but
I
I'm
think
not
so
sure.
too. I think it was after you guys left.
Yeah,
We released
unfortunately.
it and then left. So do
Um,
you do any of the other activities there too, or are you just kind of like do you usually sign up for the festival, or do you just bird adjacent to the festival?
Usually I just go there like on usually weekends. Like last year I actually had a lot of time to go like down to McGee Marsh. But usually I have a lot of baseball, so like I don't usually get to do everything. I wish I could, but
So you're like not doing the keynote speakers or going to the trivia or anything like that?
no, like I said, I wish I could. It's just like it's kind of later, so like yeah, hopefully I can do it this year. I really hope so. But hey, do you know where I found the hooded warbler? My first one I ever saw?
Where
not oak openings.
Nope, it was Oak Openings.
Was it really?
Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
that's funny. You definitely need to go
Oak
back
Openings
there.
is a good spot. That was like, other than the insects, that was probably one of my favorite places that we went just because the variety was so different. And
Yeah,
we had to
it's
go pretty far west because where the biggest week is what would you call it, like north central Ohio?
It's like
It's definitely
by
north because it's right
Toledo.
along the lake.
yeah, it's up near the lake mostly, but like it goes all the way down. It goes pretty far south.
Because we went all the way toward Toledo for Oak Openings, and then we had one of the best pizzas we've ever had at the Stubborn Brother in Toledo.
Yeah,
Never
if
been
you,
there.
dude, you gotta go, man. It was so good.
We literally went to Oak Openings, then I think it was a little farther west to this Grasshopper Sparrow spot, and then hit up the pizza place. And it was a great combination. Anyone doing Oak Openings should also go to the Stubborn Brother pizza place.
Heard
Yeah, it's
you got
right.
that lifer pie too.
We
Yeah,
did. We did
exactly.
do that at Blackberry Corners. We had the pizza there, which was pretty bad.
Yeah, although
But the
our
pie.
lifer was like Brewster's Warbler, so it was, a hybrid lifer. But there's, to be fair, almost nothing we could have gotten there that would have been a legit straight up lifer. I mean,
Yo
there's some
Etna,
people,
barn
but
owl. Could have
Oh
got
yeah, I
barn
guess I
owl.
could.
We had
Well,
a
you wouldn't have
chance.
gotten it though.
Right, but we didn't see one,
There was the,
unfortunately.
you know where the secret barn owl spot is, right? We're
I
not
do
going to tell
not.
the audience. What?
I do not.
Oh, never mind. We can't tell you then. It's live on air.
We didn't see it anyways, so I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know
there's a
how good of
place
a
where there's
spot
a
it is.
barn owl that's supposed to be nesting, and there's a nest cam on the barn owl. So we were waiting outside the barn where we saw the opening, and then we were looking at the nest cam, and we saw that the barn owl was in there. And so we were like, well, it's gotta fly out at some point. And I remember it like stood up, and we're like, oh, here it comes, and then it just like turned around and sat back down. So we never saw it come out.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was kind of a fail.
The biggest week.
We gave it a try though. I thought bird trivia was really fun.
Yeah. You gotta start doing some of this stuff. You're like right there anyway. How far away is like McGee Marsh from where you live?
About 45 minutes, so
Oh,
it's not
okay.
far at all.
Yeah, it's still kind of like a little annoying though when you get out of school and then you have to go 45 minutes to do bird stuff, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I probably have to go on Sundays when I don't have baseball and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Do you kind of feel the vibe when you're around it though? Do you like that aspect of it? Because
I
there was
really
definitely
do.
a
Yeah.
palpable energy.
Yeah. Like everyone there, it's nice. Like everyone knows birds and they like birds. Like it's really cool.
Hopefully likes birds.
Yeah, I think
Hopefully. Yeah.
out of all the festivals we've gone to, that one has probably the biggest buzz around it because so many people there, they're not even necessarily people that know about bird ID, but they want to learn and they want to see what's going on. So they're hanging out. They're, eager to learn more. It just has it does have a real energy to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And then that area too, it's not just the warblers, like there's Metzger Marsh and Howard Marsh. There's actually a lot of good shorebirding opportunities available too.
Yeah, like you'll see American white pelicans usually. I know I usually do every year. So those are pretty cool on their flyovers.
Yeah, we saw them on the estuary trail. And then one thing that was interesting as well to me was I usually don't see that big of a blue jay flight. There were so many blue jays going overhead the entire week, and you don't usually think of them as super migratory, but they are migratory, and they just went by Lake Erie in huge numbers.
Yeah, I remember one year I was like, whoa, what is that? And like I was like, what are those? Oh, they're Blue Jays. Like I was like, what the heck? It was
Yeah,
kind of
there was
weird.
definitely a ton of them. I also think that a lot of the birds that are down there that time of year are birds that we get in a similar time of year. So it was kind of like seeing a lot of familiar things down in Ohio that we then went back up north, and then some of those birds I think also went up right after. So we kind of got the double
We probably
migration.
saw the same, black-throated blue warbler
We
that we
could
saw
have.
in Ohio.
We could have.
But we were actually on the day we came back, people had been seeing a varied bunting in Wisconsin. So we drove back, immediately went to try to get that and didn't see it. And I don't think it was really seen after that. So that was disappointing.
Yeah, bet.
Yeah. But the vibe is really cool at the biggest week
It
and
just
the
feels like there's so
collection of
much to
people.
do. It feels like there's always something going on, whether it's the trivia or there's woodcock walks or there's the various field trips. It always feels like there's something that you could be doing with the festival if you wanted to. There are other festivals that are kind of similar to that too. We've been to like almost all of the major ones at this point. So, yeah,
They all kind of have a different vibe though. But I think
a little bit.
that collective interest is there kind of at all of them. It just depends how much the people are kind of allowed to mix with each other. Because the biggest week, it feels like there's all these opportunities to meet different people at the different places. Some of the other festivals, it feels like you kind of go on your field trip, you come back, like you go back to your hotel, you go bird on your own. Feels a little more separated. What I like about biggest week is it all meshes together really well. So you have a good opportunity to talk to like a ton of people.
Yeah, definitely. Like I remember when I was with you guys actually, the Eastern Screech Owl, they were like everyone was just like congregated in one area and like there's like pointing it out where it was when people didn't know where it was. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the boardwalk is basically just a massive game of telephone. You're like, hey, there's a screech owl over there. Then it like goes down the line, and then someone will be stationed there telling everyone, hey, there's a screech owl. And then when they leave, nobody knows there's a screech owl. Then someone walks by and they goes, "Oh, there's a screech owl over there." And then people congregate, and then they leave, and then it happens again. So it's pretty interesting how you have
Well,
that
you also sometimes
communication.
turn into that person.
You do.
So
You're like,
then,
I gotta move down. I can't be the
yeah,
keeper of
somebody's
this
like, hey,
bird.
there's a screech owl. Then you're like, oh, there's a screech owl. And other people show up and they're like, what are you looking at? And you go, oh, screech owl. And then you find yourself as the steward of that bird on the boardwalk in that particular moment.
Doing a study on like communication on that boardwalk would be really interesting to see how information gets passed down from person to person.
I think it is totally like a love-hate thing with the amount of people on there too, because sometimes you can't get to a spot you want to get to because of the amount of people, or you can't quite get to a place where you could see a bird because of it. But then on the other hand, you walk by groups of people and you just say, what are you seeing? And they go, oh, it's a prothonotary warbler. And then you're like, okay, cool. I can either stay or I can move on. The next one, what are you seeing? Oh, there's a Cape May somewhere up there. And you're like, okay, cool. So it's like, it really eliminates a lot of the work for you if people are diligently looking. But then you also get the bystander effect where you say, "What are you looking at?" And they just go, "I don't know.
Yeah, somebody
There's a
else was stopped
group of
here, so
40
I
people here,
decided
and
to
we don't know
stop
what we're
here.
trying to find."
Yeah, I find that a lot where like they just go, "Hey, what you looking at?" I don't know. Like just all the time. Yeah. What's also really nice about the boardwalk is that the boardwalk is all like numbered. So like
That's
um
true.
they can like report it and like which boardwalk number it's at, and then like you can just go there and it's usually right around there, like the rarity and things like that.
What's it like when something legitimately rare gets reported on the boardwalk? Because when we reported the prairie warbler, people kind of swarmed actually to Metzger, and we had a huge group of people looking for the prairie warbler at Metzger. How is the boardwalk when that happens?
Um I have actually not personally been with that. Usually kind of like it's usually very good days that I go. Like usually it's like with all prothonotary warblers or all yellow warblers. Like it's like chaos. But what I'm guessing is that the people they're probably gonna congregate on the boardwalk and just like it's gonna be like you have to fit through if you want to get past. And it's just there's gonna be a lot of people, but like it's still kind of cool how that all that works.
Yeah, I can't
I
even
was so
imagine if there was a
curious.
Kirtland's on the boardwalk.
That's what I was waiting for all week because they said that Cassidy Picker usually finds it, right? And there was a specific day of the week that people usually find it. So I was waiting all week to experience the Kirtland's Warbler high, but it just never happened.
Well, I think it's normally not even on the boardwalk. It's on that like estuary trail, isn't it?
I think that
Yeah,
that's what
usually it's
they
on like
said.
the I think it's usually on like the east side of the beach. You'll find them in like the bushes on the beach sometimes. That's what I've heard. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that's where they usually hang out.
I've got a good feeling this year that they'll probably get one. That's just my vibe, based on nothing. But
Did they actually end up finding one?
no, not last
Not that
year.
I heard.
That sucks.
There was a little kid too who told Tyler that he was going to question his job if they couldn't find a Kirtland's Warbler.
Yeah, he was like, they found one every year, but now you took over. So I think if we don't get one now that you took over, you should not do this anymore, or something like that. It was pretty funny. So
What's also pretty nice is that on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, they'll have like you can subscribe or like follow the biggest week, and they'll like post out rarities like how you did with the prairie warbler.
yeah, yeah, it's a nice aspect of it for sure. What are some other really good places to bird in Ohio that you've been to that aren't centered around that biggest week area?
Um, Probably oak openings, like you said. That's pretty nice there. Probably I don't I usually have to stay pretty local.
Is that really kind of the best spot, you think, where the festival's centered?
Yeah, I think so. Like usually that's where we hang out is at McGee Marsh. It's really nice there. Yeah.
Yeah, I do appreciate all the parking they have there. It's a pretty nice open space. Because I was thinking if we ran like a festival in Milwaukee, like some of the parking spots are pretty tight. But that Ohio area has such a nice vibe to it. It's got like a chill atmosphere. It almost feels more southern than it is. You know, when you look at the map, it almost has kind of a southern charm feel to it. Do you
Yeah.
It's
feel
very
that way?
country.
Country?
Um Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I've been living here all my life, so
He
it's
doesn't
kind of
know
just
anything
normal.
else.
Yeah.
Have you been able to bird outside of Ohio much?
Not a whole lot. The only other place I've been, Michigan, like in like surrounding areas. I have gotten a bird in South Carolina. I got willets and stuff like that on the beach. So boat-tailed grackle.
Nice.
Yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the best bird you found so far in your life? Like, not necessarily found by yourself, like chased or just have on your list.
Um, Probably yellow-headed blackbird I found in our backyard. That
That's a
was
cool
pretty
yard
cool.
bird.
Yeah, we're like, what is that? It's like it was like along with all of the other red-winged blackbirds, it was like a huge flock of them just eating at stuff in our yard, and like yellow-headed blackbird was right there. Like it was pretty cool. Like, yeah, that was when I was younger, so
Yeah, I don't know why, but I pictured like you and your dad putting in a tiny pond with like a 1 foot by 1 foot thing of cattails and just one yellow-headed blackbird trying to nest in there. I know that's not what happened, but that's just what I pictured in my mind, which would be a really funny, like, if you build it, they will come kind of story.
that
Yeah.
would be kind of cool.
I thought you were gonna say it was the hooded warbler.
Hooded warbler was kind of cool.
Yeah, they're cool. They nest
Yeah,
in an area pretty close to where we live, actually. So if you go there when it's not too leafy in the earlier part of spring when they're back, you can actually get some looks at them. When it gets really thick, they become very difficult. But it's those, and then blue-winged nest nearby, and then also cerulean nest nearby. So we get the little kind of more southern warblers still nesting in this part of the state.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Still haven't
cool.
gotten that blue wings warbler.
You're
Like,
due.
I
You're
thought,
due
wait,
this year.
I thought you got one last
well,
year. I
I
thought
I'm
we
guessing
saw
I
one.
looked in the same tree. I actually didn't see it. I've heard it multiple times. I just never get to find it.
I literally have video of that bird,
Yeah, I
that
know.
exact bird in that tree.
Yep, I must have. I was looking at the tree. Guess I couldn't see it, like get eyes on it.
That just
So
makes it more exciting this year when you
yeah,
can
Oak
get it
definitely.
Openings has
officially
them.
get it by viewing it. I know, that's why we say he always has to go to Oak
Yeah, you
openings.
could go to Oak Openings. He doesn't seem like he's gonna go to Oak Openings.
Nope, I'm going to Oak openings.
As
Definitely.
soon as they're back, just go there and they'll be up singing, I think.
Yeah, like literally every time I go to Oak openings, I always hear it. Like in the springtime, obviously, but I always hear the Oak openings or hear the Oak openings. I hear the Blue
I
Wings
hear
Warbler.
the openings in the
Yeah,
oaks.
Yeah, we had the blue grosbeaks over there too.
that's sweet.
That was a good stop, except for the bugs. The bugs made it kind of horrendous,
Derek
honestly.
actually got some sort of crazy allergic reaction and then was
Yeah,
out of
I'm pretty
commission the
sure it
rest
was
of the day.
from getting all the mosquito bites, and then like you can have a reaction to that because it was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've been working on the videos for some of the biggest week stuff that we didn't finish yet, and it's definitely got me back thinking about all the stuff that we did then. So
it's
it's
just
like,
one more day too, and then the full festival, right?
yep, that's all
Yeah.
we have to do.
So Aiden, you have your own social media called Bird Nerds, BIRDNIRDZ. Can you tell us a
Yes,
little bit about that and like what you've been doing with it?
I just want to start posting again. I haven't in a long time. I have a McGee Marsh video on there right now. That one's got 1,000 views.
McGee Marsh.
Yeah. But like I want to start posting again. It's just been kind of busy because of school and baseball. But I definitely want to start that back up again. Yeah.
Very cool. And then do you have the artwork for the hooded warbler on there too that people can see? He
I
made a
do. Yes.
designed a cool t-shirt that says the original hoodie and then it
Yep.
has a hooded warbler on it. Is he also wearing a hoodie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Inception. It's Hoodception.
So if you had the option to bird anywhere in the lower 48, which spot would you pick?
Oak openings.
Um,
Yeah.
it's a lot of states.
You got a lot of options.
Probably probably Rio Grande Valley, whatever that's called in Texas. I want to go down there. I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, Rio Grande Valley is nice for sure. There's a festival there too. You could
Yeah.
do a switch and go there. There are different times of the year, so you could actually do both. What's
Yeah.
your next bird that you really want to get on your list other than the blue-winged warbler?
Um, that's a tough one. Like What kind of bird? I've always wanted to see the ruddy duck.
Really?
Um,
Dude, you could totally get Ruddy Duck. There's so much for you to get, like in Ohio still.
yeah,
You
definitely.
got to just do a big year.
It's just like we don't travel much, so everything that I have is pretty much from Ohio. I did get in South Carolina, I got swallow-tailed kite, so that was pretty cool. It
That's
just flew
cool.
over while we're playing putt-putt golf.
Nice. Did you
Yeah.
get some of the South Carolina forest specialties? Same with Florida, like the red cockaded.
I did not. We mainly stayed on the beach at Surfside Beach, so
I mean, the beaches down there, you can
yeah.
definitely find some good stuff. Were you like Hilton Head?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Hilton Head Beach. There's a lot of beaches down there that have, marbled godwits, other shorebirds, terns, can get a lot of the
Skimmers.
oceanic species. Yeah, skimmers down there. It's actually a cool
Yeah.
place. I really liked birding in South Carolina. Makes you feel like you're on vacation too.
Yeah. Saw that white wagtail is also pretty cool.
Wait, where'd you see white wagtail?
No, like I'm just saying, like you guys saw white wagtail. I kind of want to
Oh
see it
yeah, I mean we
again.
saw it in a place it's not supposed to be in at all because it was in our home state.
It stayed for like months too. I think it's finally moved on, but like there was a couple that found it and they would check on it like almost every day. They named it Willow. And
I
eventually
would have
they're like,
named it. Well, I would think
Willow
you should have
wasn't
named
there
it
today.
Willie, but there's a Willie
Willy
wagtail that's an
Wagtail.
actual
Yeah.
species. What about like Wanda wagtail?
What's wrong with Willow? I like Willow.
I like Willow too.
Makes me
Yeah.
think of willow flycatcher.
You're outvoted 2-1.
Apparently.
But yeah, they can kind of show up anywhere, it seems. So I don't know. Maybe biggest week 2025. White Wagtail. Who knows?
Yeah,
Maybe.
are there are you pretty plugged into the birding network down in Ohio, or is it kind of scattered? Like, are you aware of like stuff that shows up that's rare in the state?
Not really. I mean, yeah. eBird, they use like the eBird Ohio Rare Bird Alert. I
Yeah,
get like daily emails like what was reported and where.
yeah.
So yeah.
What kind of interesting stuff shows up there? Because it is kind of a, north to south long state. So I'm assuming down in the southern part you can get a lot of southern species.
Yeah. Actually, I think I saved the email. So today we saw apparently there's snow goose, we got long-billed dowitcher. That's interesting. Neotropic cormorant was actually
Hmm.
seen in Lucas County, so I'm not sure where that was seen. Blue-headed vireos are coming back.
Hmm.
We got some different warblers, rose-breasted grosbeak, but yeah, red-naped, red-breasted sapsucker hybrid.
Oh,
Huh.
interesting.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
So what was that doing there? Oh, I wonder if it was
Um,
just like a yellow-bellied sapsucker that someone's like, "What is this?"
I don't know. That's weird. That seems oddly specific.
yeah, definitely.
Very cool. I also wanted to mention we switched our merch provider to Fourth Wall, so we finally were able to get some merch in. So some new stuff. This hummingbird shirt. I feel like you'll appreciate this one, Aiden. You can, if you see an Atlantic puffin, you can get it. It says Puffin Party on it.
Nice. I know I have friends that they went up to Alaska and they saw them and like thought that was pretty cool.
It's really cool. Anytime you see a puffin, you feel like you're in a Nat Geo documentary, and it's like David Attenborough starts narrating your thoughts in your head.
Especially the Atlantic puffin.
Yeah,
We
well,
saw the
we
tufted
saw them in the
puffins.
non-breeding plumage, so they're just kind of out in the. They kind of act like the other alcids, where they're just sitting there, but they have like really dark color on their face, so it kind of looks like they got punched in the eye. And you're just like, well, he's not as pretty as he would be in his nesting colony, but it's still cool to see him.
Yeah, definitely. I bet. Yeah. Have not seen any puffins. No, not in Ohio.
Hey, you never know. Biggest week,
Yeah,
2025.
never know.
You have your driver's license yet?
Not yet. I can get it in April.
Is
So
that going to be a
That's
game changer for you?
maybe I can actually like drive to different events and stuff.
I
Yeah,
think
you
it'll be
could
a game
take a road
changer.
trip.
Not even just for birding, just for everything.
Yeah,
It's very
definitely.
freeing.
Definitely.
Um, is there anything else that you're expecting to find at Biggest Week that you haven't seen yet? Like things that are normally there, like the blue winged.
Blue wings. Yeah.
Do you have any
Um,
tropic cormorant? I thought there was one last year at around Biggest Week that
I
people were
think it was
reporting.
at what's it called? It's the place next to McGee Marsh.
Some bridge, I thought, or like an underpass or something.
Mm,
McGee
uh,
Underpass. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, would that be a lifer for you?
that would be actually, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, this could be a
It
big
could be,
week for
yeah.
you.
Yeah. And it's all of May. It's not just May 9th to the 18th. It's all of May.
Yeah, what's funny is in like the Gulf Coast, their peak migration's like now. It's almost a month early. So I'm
This
seeing
is their
posts from
peak.
people. Well, like April, like end of April is, big for stuff coming through. For us, it's like May pretty much.
Yeah. I actually really
Oh,
like April
I guess it wouldn't be
migration.
now, it'd be in a couple weeks for
Yeah,
April.
I
But
like the
there's
April
stuff coming
migration a
through.
lot because you start to get the trickle-ins and then you get some random rare stuff that shows up. So you can get in April up here some good warbler days and the tanagers start showing up. So, I mean, it doesn't feel like it around here because everything is still bare. The trees don't even have buds or anything yet.
Hey, we're
Soon.
But
starting to get buds. You'll get there.
Yes.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. We need to stop getting days of 40 degrees, I think, and then that'll help. We need to.
Yeah, definitely. Usually in like late April at Sidecut Metro Park, that's where I usually like local birding, just like go out after practice or something, because it's close by. Usually we get a prothonotary warbler that just shows up every year, just early April, and then it just disappears. I don't know where it goes.
There's a lot of prothonotary that were down there. It felt like every marshy area we went to, there was a prothonotary.
I think
Um,
a Prothonotary warbler nest box cam would be so cool.
it would be cool.
I want someone that has one in their backyard to like let us put one in their birdhouse. That'd be so neat.
You're
That would
gonna
be
have to
cool.
put something out and be like, anybody that has this very specific situation that would allow us to put a camera in the box.
Yeah, I just don't know how often they're that close to like Wi-Fi or anything, or you could put a cable like running to one.
That's a great question. I mean, that one apparently nested in the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's not
Oh yeah.
close to like a house though, right?
Right.
You need some kind of connection.
But I think that shows that they would nest nearish to people.
Aiden, you got to turn your backyard into a marsh and get nesting Prothonotary warblers, more yellow-headed blackbirds, ruddy ducks. You think your parents would be on board with that?
I know my dad wants a pond,
Yeah,
so
Ooh.
perfect.
maybe.
He just gets home one day and you're like, Dad, I flooded the yard. He's just
We
like,
don't
what
have
are
a
you talking
basement
about, son?
anymore.
Go look at it.
We did what we did with Howard Marsh.
Well,
Yeah,
cool.
Howard
Thank.
Marsh is just all flooded farmland.
Is that
Oh, is
what
that
they
what it
did?
is?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
That's pretty cool because it actually is a pretty legit marsh.
Yeah.
Orlando wetlands in Florida, man-made marsh.
Yeah, do they have to
Best
manage it
spots.
regularly or is it just good to go now?
Say it again.
Is Howard Marsh just good to go now forever or do they have to manage it?
They don't have to manage it all that much, but like I think it's pretty good. It just like just I think they're just gonna let it go until like something happens, just like parking and stuff like that. They'll have to keep up with that, but I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, and there's that east side and the west side, and we did both. And they were both pretty good. I mean, black-necked stilts is a cool bird to get in the Midwest. Lots of Dunlin there.
Phalarope.
Wilson's phalarope.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, the big thing people wanted there was yellow-headed blackbird. So is that pretty rare in your part of the state? Because now that you said it, and I remember people saying it when we were there, they were really excited about the yellow-headed blackbirds.
Um, they're still pretty rare, but like I think they're getting seen more often, especially up at Howard Marsh. They see them a lot. Um, where I live though, you don't see them. So like that's why I thought that where I live, it's pretty rare to find one like in my backyard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool when stuff shows up, like when you're first starting birding that you don't even know what it is. So I remember on our rear bird, it would just be something that would show up and it would have a name we didn't
Black-bellied
recognize.
whistling duck. You'd be like, what is that?
Well, gray crown rosy finch was a big one that showed up. I was just, I don't know what that is. And yeah, if you still have birds like ruddy duck that you haven't seen yet, definitely savor them. Probably
Yeah.
don't actually just rush out to see them. Try to get a nice experience with each one and make it a little special moment.
I have gone out so many times trying to find snow buntings and they just always elude me.
They can
I
be
can never
They're
tough.
find them.
tricky. They can be hard to find because you'll be in places where the conditions look really good and there's just no snow buntings. And then
Yeah.
you'll just go by, a road that has some open manure and then you'll see a huge flock of them. And yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
they may be less common down by you than up by us, but you do have to go places to find them usually. You won't just, luck out seeing one go by your house or something.
Yeah. Lots of cool stuff to see though. We got to sign off here, but thanks so much, Aiden, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And thanks everyone for watching and listening to this episode of the Badgerland Birding Podcast.